Battle in neutral ice areas, eventually won by the Islanders and sent deep. Lemieux around for Picard. Picard spins around, but can't clear it out to the point, but Plandowski knocks it down with a glove, and eventually it does come bouncing back to the Islanders line. Up over the far side, there's a battle in gets pulled down. Play goes right on as Plandowski may have got away with one there. In deep, Gooby. Gooby for Trudeau. Back for Budgel. Around the far side. And now snap back behind the net. Trudeau just avoids the hit. Steps to the inside as Cam McDonald trying to put the body on Trudeau. Trudeau opened the scoring early in the first period. And now 3-0, 2-0 Islanders with 4 minutes to go. There's a shot up high by Plandowski. That goes wide. In along the near boards. Now it's LaForge unable to get it out as the Sea Dogs a little sloppy as they go up ice. Have to circle back one more time and back in their own end as we get some fresh legs over the boards and out to center ice. That's wrapped in deep. And the Sea Dogs will complete that line change. And they get a new defensive pairing out there as well. Bizzo with a good, solid hit on Trudeau. Now Reynolds. Fredericton native giving it off to Villeneuve. Villeneuve over for Poirier. Up on the wing, and now it's sent in deep by Bizzo. Gooby will hand it off to Cormier. 3 minutes to go here in the first. 2-0 Islanders. Now making his way through is Simoneau. A long shot pad save. And the puck sent back into the Islander zone. Up the middle for Boyd. Boyd's pass is knocked down, but Boyd comes back and takes it back, and then a pass and a nice defensive play by Villeneuve. Now Cormier coming in off the point. A backhander. Save made. Puck just rolls almost by the far corner, but cleared at the last moment. Villeneuve. Lemieux's down, lost some of his equipment, and slow to get up, and appealing to the referee for a call, and Putafall blows the whistle to stop play as Lemieux was without a couple pieces of his equipment.
A bit of a strange situation behind the play. Lemieux had made the pad save, and then suddenly, whether he had an equipment problem, he had the glove off quite quickly, seemed to be working on something that had come loose. The play gets blown down. The faceoff will likely come deep in Sea Dog territory. And that time, John, where the Sea Dogs certainly would like to get a goal late in this period to sort of settle things down and to almost reset for the second. Just hasn't gone their way on the scoreboard. Shot clock's certainly indicating the Sea Dogs have sort of found their way back into the competition, but not being rewarded currently on the scoreboard, but the Islanders still enjoying a 2-0 first period lead.
John Moore, Bruce Smith here at TD Station. 2:42 to go, period one. 2-0 Islanders here in the Sea Dogs home opener. Here's a puck rolling up ice. Racing down is Dufour. He'll get to it first in the corner. Trying to center it, and off the stick of Brady Burns, who is just off the doorstep as he raced up ice trying to get to that pass in front. Now the Sea Dogs head up the far side, but the puck is bouncing, and Burns will play it back. So back behind the goal, Sea Dogs will regroup up the boards for Dufour. Dufour pressured, though, by Maynard. And now it comes free. Here's Burns to Lawrence. Lawrence dragging it in over the line. He looks to shoot it. Save made. Another shot, and Gooby's got that as well. Oh, Dufour with a great chance from the slot area, and Gooby already down, but able to come up with that one with the trapper.
Yeah, Gooby's had a good first period for the Islanders. He's made a couple key saves. There was one right on the doorstep as Dufour came into the loose puck, and you don't want to see William Dufour get the puck in that spot on the ice as a goaltender, but Gooby makes a nice save and maintains the Islander 2-0 lead.
Draw won by the Islanders. Budgel, the 20-year-old. Now is centered in front of Picard, and he takes a quick shot from 10 feet out in front. Little pushing and shoving that follows. But again, Guby's got that covered.
Oh, nice pass by the newcomer, Sapelnikov, the Belarusian. And good to see some offense being generated from other lines. Savoie, Sapelnikov, and Picard are partnered or matched up together. Savoie will take the draw.
Simoneau in for the draw. He's got assists on both Islander goals here in the first. Draw won by the Sea Dogs. Now in the corner, working it behind the net. Savoie trying to flip it to the front. Picard attempted to get a one-timer off, but too many sticks in down low. Now a bouncing puck brought out by Plandowski. Steps over center and wrists it in. Lemieux out of the net. He shovels it up on the boards, but the Islanders' Gay will send it back into the far corner. Villeneuve will kick it over to his partner. Pressured by Poirier. Picard. Now Picard for Cam McDonald over center. Gets it in deep. And that is actually not Picard, or excuse me, not McDonald, but Savoie. 1:17 to go here in the first.
And they're going to rule that icing, John. As the linesman says, Savoie was the wrong side of center ice red line. So the faceoff will be back deep in St. John territory with 1:17 left.
Draw won by the Islanders. Cormier on the point. Shot in on goal. Rebound quickly cleared. Now back to the far point. It bounces over the stick of Lowen. And now Savoie will get a deeper. Cormier first back behind the net. Moving it to Lowen. Lowen up to center, but that pass a little too far in front of the Islanders winger. And Sea Dogs have a chance. Bizot up for Reynolds. Reynolds will try to cut to the middle. Now he feeds it to the point. Here's Poirier from a sharp angle off a stick. Goes behind the net, then comes out to the side. And Guby's got it covered. 41 seconds to go in the period. To remind you, right after the break, Bruce will be back with the first period recap. My guest in the first intermission will be Sea Dogs General Manager, President Trevor Georgie. And, of course, we'll check the out-of-town scoreboard, other scores around the queue on a Friday night. Draw to the right of Guby. Reynolds leaning in. And the draw won by the Islanders. Plandowski quickly backhands it up and out. Now it's brought back in, and Cam McDonald takes a swing at it, fanning on that attempt as the puck was rolling, and now hustling back is Dupont. Nice little change of direction to get some time, and now gets it up on the wings. And Reynolds puts a body on the Islander. Here's Bizot trying to cut to the middle of a quick shot, and a good save from Guby from that shot from 20 feet out. Now here's Bizot on his knees, gets a shot away, but another save from Guby. And the puck sent back to the St. John line. Final seconds ticking down. Poirier will head back behind the net. And that'll bring the first period to a close. Islanders with a 2-0 lead here after 20 minutes. Bruce has your first period recap when we return. This is Sea Dogs Radio presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
First intermission highlights coming up. First, born in St. John, New Brunswick in 1936, Stompin' Tom Connors on CFBC.
Hello out there, we're on the air. It's hockey night tonight. Tension grows, the whistle blows, and the puck goes down the ice. The goalie jumps and the players bump and the fans all go insane. Someone roars, Bobby scores at the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Second period, we're players dash with skates aflash. The home team trails behind, but they grab the puck and go bursting up, and they're down across the line. They storm the crease like bumblebees. They travel like a burning flame. We see them slide the puck inside. It's a 1-1 hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Third period, last game in the playoffs, too. Oh, take me where the hockey players face off down the rink, and the Stanley Cup is all filled up for the champs who win the drink. Now the final flick of a hockey stick and a one gigantic scream. The puck is in, the home team wins the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game.
You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio on 93 CFBC. Period Summary is next. Brought to you by Loch Lomond Mitsubishi.
We're
Built
in the
better,
first period
back
intermission
better, just
here
better.
at TD Station between the Islanders and St. John Sea Dogs. We'll be back with a first period summary of the first 20 minutes. You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented on TD on 93 CFBC.
Freddie, Tire-tober is back, and you know what that means.
Oh, don't say tire puns.
It means I'm pumped for Maritimers to tread on over to Loch Lomond Mitsubishi.
So tire puns it is then.
Because every new Mitsubishi comes with free winter tires on rims. That's a really good deal, Fred.
It's too bad these puns weren't really good.
St. John, during Tire-tober, roll on into Loch Lomond Mitsubishi and get your free winter tires on rims with every new Mitsubishi.
Is that it for the puns now, Jamie?
Oh, I think I can spare you the rest, Fred. Mitsubishi, drive your ambition.
You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
Welcome back to TD Station. In the first period intermission, to give you a scoring summary after the first 20 minutes, Sea Dogs get off to a bit of a shaky start in this, their home opener. It was the Charlottetown Islanders striking first at the 5:26 mark. William Trudeau, of course, his first of the season. Assists going to Patrick Gay and Xavier Simoneau. And just like that, the Islanders were up 2-0. They added to their lead at the 8:13 mark. Noah Lowen, the veteran defenseman for the Islanders. Assists going to Patrick LeBlanc and Xavier Simoneau picking up his second assist of the period. And that was all the scoring in the first. Penalties, 3 of them, all against the Islanders. So the Sea Dogs power play 0 for 3 in their first 3 attempts. Shot clock in favor of St. John, 13-10. Jacob Gooby, very good in goal for the Islanders to start things off. Made a couple of key saves, and he has preserved his 2-0 lead after 20 minutes. John Moore will be back momentarily with his first period guest, who will be the president and general manager of the St. John Sea Dogs, Trevor Georgie. I'm sure lots to chat about with this Memorial Cup bid success for St. John. And we'll be back with that interview momentarily. You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
Historic St. John, New Brunswick. St. John has the largest and most used transit system in New Brunswick. St. John is home to the province's Heart and Trauma Center and the largest hospital in New Brunswick. According to the Huffington Post in 2017, St. John was number 3 on the list of Canada's best cities for jobs and affordable housing. According to Slice.ca, in 2017, St. John was one of the 20 most beautiful cities in Canada to live in. Historic St. John, New Brunswick.
How many times have you seen or heard about a crime but were afraid to get involved out of fear of being a victim yourself? Well, if you really want to do something without identifying yourself or testifying, call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. As a matter of fact, if your tip is successful, Crime Stoppers pay anonymous tipsters between $50 and $2,000. Crime Stopper calls are not taped or traced, and we will never ask you to give your name or testify in court. You can reach Crime Stoppers 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Just call 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. Remember, at Crime Stoppers, we want your information, not your name.
When you use a WarAmps key tag, it acts as a safeguard. If you lose your keys, the WarAmps can return them to you by courier. To order your key tags, contact the WarAmps at 1-800-250-3030 or waramps.ca.
TD Station here in St. John. First intermission. Sea Dogs trailing the Islanders in their home opener 2-0. And the intermission guest, sponsored by Advantage Auto, is the Sea Dogs president, general manager, Trevor Georgie. Trevor, thanks for making the trip up here to the booth.
Thanks, John. Thanks for having me.
Well, not exactly the way you wanted the home opener to start, but nonetheless, so I'm sure you're so relieved the season is upon us now. A lot of work's been done, and of course, tremendous news last week with the announcement of the Sea Dogs to host the 2022 Memorial Cup.
Yeah, we're not pleased about the first period tonight. We had some good chances, but we need to be able to capitalize on when we have that many power plays. Yeah, I mean, last week was a fantastic week. There was, the organization, members of the community poured their heart and soul into hosting a Memorial Cup here, and it was a David versus Goliath battle with the Quebec Ramparts. So it was. We were elated. We were thrilled. The fact that we can host this tournament here in St. John for the first time is really special, and that's not lost on any of us. We're elated.
Yeah, we in the rink watched the video of the CHL president Dan McKenzie arriving in the Sea Dogs office and making it official. Bruce and I speculated in the pregame here just a little bit. What was the difference? Like what was the difference between, as you say, David versus Goliath, Quebec City with the Videotron Center 16,005 as opposed to the TD Station with 6,500, and what do you think tipped it in the Sea Dogs' favor?
Yeah, I think there's all kinds of advantages and reasons why it would be easy to pick Quebec, right? Like an NHL quality rink, brand new. No Memorial Cup has ever been hosted in that facility. They have a practice facility that seats 5,000. That'd be pretty impressive, comparable to our actual facility here at TD Station. So really impressive. 25th anniversary for them. Anyways, I'm not building the case for Quebec because that wasn't what we did, but we certainly looked at all those angles to understand it. For us, our bid was really focused on our concept of one for all, and this concept of it's going to be the first Memorial Cup coming out of global pandemic, or maybe even still during global pandemic, but first one. It's the new CHL president Dan McKenzie's first Memorial Cup, and it's going to give us a chance to celebrate the 102nd Memorial Cup, but most importantly, how do we chart the course for the next 102 Memorial Cups? How do we use the Memorial Cup tournament as a platform to ensure that hockey is inclusive and accessible? And so our concept of one for one, feedback was that they were appreciative that we wanted to honor tradition, but it really resonated with the committee based on feedback that we received. The concept that we were really looking at the future of hockey and how to chart the course for that. So, we'll never get the full answer of exactly what, but for us, we felt strongly about that, and it sounds like the committee did too.
There are a lot of questions regarding the Memorial Cup. I don't want to end up focusing on just that, but I guess the most common question I get is, how do I get tickets?
Good question. Well, you'll be calling it, John, so you don't need tickets. I'm not sure why.
I've got my seat right here.
Yeah, you've got a good seat. We'll charge you for it. We should charge you for it during the tournament. We've had like thousands of calls, emails, messages about this. And the answer is we don't have an answer right now. What we do know for sure is that tickets will be scarce. The CHL alone blocks off with 1,000 seats for this event. So we know for sure that season ticket members will have first chance at getting their seats or getting tickets in the building. So they're the only ones guaranteed to have tickets to the Memorial Cup. So if you're a season ticket member, fear not, you're guaranteed to get tickets for the Memorial Cup. After that, we'll start opening it up to other groups and to make the tickets available. But I really encourage folks, we've done it all week, letting people know if you really want to come to this once-in-a-lifetime event, we really encourage you to get season tickets here. And also, season ticket members will be getting a discount on Memorial Cup tickets, so it's worth their while. It will be worth their while.
What's a pair of tickets, Sea Dog season tickets?
Good question. A pair of tickets would be about $1,000.
$1,000.
Yeah, for a pair.
And again, is there a sense as to, we've seen past Memorial Cups, ticket prices really have swung as far as some have been very expensive, others have been certain more manageable, a little bit easier for the paying customer. Have you got a sense as to what direction you may end up going?
Absolutely. We want to make it accessible and inclusive. So our Memorial Cup tickets, our plan is to make it very comparable to the tickets in Halifax, which is in between that $300 to $400 range. So that's that's what we anticipate right now. We want to make it very affordable. And looking back pre-pandemic and to building as big as Halifax, where there'd be more availability for those tickets, we want to be similar to that pricing, even though we're a smaller building. So that's why we really encourage people to, if they want to jump the line, pick up a pair of season tickets here so that they have a chance to get those tickets, because especially based on price, we anticipate a very, very high pickup in those packages.
Final question for you, because we got to go to a break here shortly, but you made some moves over the course of the summer. And some players which we see for the first time here tonight. In your estimation, what was the biggest acquisition for you of the new players in the lineup?
Tough question.
Yeah.
I think I think Jonathan Lemieux is going to be really big for us. He's a player that lost in the President Cup. Olivier Picard, same thing. They lost in the President Cup, and they've said to me on a number of occasions, we've lost it once, we're not doing it again. I also look at a guy like William Dufour that we think could scratch the surface at 40 to 45 goals. And I will add one more to the mix. You asked me for one, but I think Vincent Despont, number 22, Swiss-Canadian, he'll, as a free pickup, I think fans are really going to enjoy Vincent Despont.
I think it's going to be a fan favorite, as you point out, as the season moves on. Trevor, thanks for your time.
Thank you, John.
Always good to have you on the show. Trevor Georgie, Sea Dogs General Manager and President. That interview is brought to you by Advantage Auto. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the out-of-town scores. Sea Dogs trailing in the opener 2-0 to the Islanders. This is Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
When your mind creates an image, it's vivid. When your mind imagines a smell,
the bread, she's already.
It's as enticing as being in the kitchen. And when your mind interprets a sound, you're standing there watching the action. Radio, the medium that works with your mind. Radio paints the picture. Radio touches the senses. Radio constructs the vision you never see. When radio is used creatively, effectively, it brings sight, sound, and feelings to everyone. Use radio for your message. There's no better way to get the word out. Call this station for details. On radio, the medium that works with your mind.
Call 506-658-5100 and press 6. Advertise your message, your brand on 93 CFBC.
Let's see. Lower sodium, low fat, high fiber.
Okay, everyone, what do you think?
Check for health check.
Great, low in fat and high in fiber.
Definitely a healthy choice.
When you choose foods with the Heart and Stroke Foundation's Health Check symbol, it's like shopping with their dietitians, who evaluate every participating product based on Canada's Food Guide.
Nothing like a little expert advice. Now get your coats on, guys. We're off to frozen foods.
Check for Health Check from the Heart and Stroke Foundation. Visit healthcheck.org.
Historic St. John, New Brunswick. Canada's original city, incorporated in 1785. The only city on the Atlantic Ocean's Bay of Fundy. French colonist Samuel de Champlain landed at St. John Harbour in 1604. St. John High School is Canada's oldest publicly funded school. The first penny newspaper, St. John News, was established in 1838. Historic St. John, New Brunswick. You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio on 93 CFBC. Q League Roundup next. Brought to you by Leon's. Live better, sleep better, feel better.
The days might be getting shorter, but that means the nights are getting longer, and there's no better time to stay nestled in your bed a few extra minutes. Hi, it's Bridget from the Leon Sleep Center. The only thing better than a new mattress to stay cozy in is getting that mattress during the Save the Tax event at Leon's. For a limited time only, you can save the tax on select mattresses from Sealy and Kingsdown. Plus, free local delivery and setup. Get the details from your mattress professional. You're locally owned and operated at Leon's, 428 Rossley Avenue. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
Is underway, and there's a number of others that have yet to get underway, but in northern New Brunswick tonight, the Moncton Wildcats and the Acadie Bathurst Teton tied at 2, and they're 4 minutes into the second period. Ben and MacArthur has both goals for the Teton. Mooseheads are in Center 200 tonight, facing their rivals, their provincial rivals. It's 1-1, and that's, again, early second period. Later tonight, Rimouski Oceanic in Quebec to face the Ramparts. Rouyn-Noranda at home with Sherbrooke. And Drummondville, that's just getting underway now. Drummondville and Val-d'Or scoreless early in the first. Other games, Gatineau's in Boisbriand to face the Armada. Baie-Comeau visiting Chicoutimi. And Shawinigan hosting Victo. And there you go. That's your scoreboard tonight. Bruce, the officials huddling at center. And Sea Dogs looking for a much better second period than the first.
Yeah, you got to wonder what that conversation was like in the Sea Dogs dressing room with Gordie Dwyer. Certainly not the period they anticipated, but the clock is reset and fresh ice, and away we go here in the second.
Sea Dogs defending the goal to my right. 13-10 shots in favor of the Sea Dogs in the first period. And now that puck is sent into the Charlottetown end. Peter Reynolds, a backhand pass to the front, but off escape, back to the point. Poirier fires up high over top of the net. Poirier, as we mentioned, arriving today from that Flames camp. Now the Islanders heading up on a 2-on-2, and a nice play by DuPont to knock the Islander off the puck, and now a long lead pass. Here's Reynolds. In over the line. Reynolds looking to move it to Bizot. Bizot comes in along the boards, outnumbered, and the Islanders eventually do get possession, sending it softly up the boards back into the zone. Dupont swings it to his partner Villeneuve. Villeneuve passes it, put it right on the stick of the Islanders forward, and a little give and go here behind the net, and losing that puck at the last moment was Jakub Brambanek. The Czech player has been effective in his debut. Down the wing, here comes Dufour. Dufour in front for Burns. His shot low on the ice, but wide. Good scoring chance there. Now Dufour keeps it. No, it comes outside. He has to bring it out, throwing it back in and heading back into the forecheck. Trudeau. His pass into the skates of Burns. Off a skate and out. And the Sea Dogs retreat. Now up for Dufour. Dufour can't handle that pass. He'll come across. He's exhausted. He'll get to that Sea Dogs bench. Here we are, early stages, period 2. 2-0 Islanders in behind the goal. Simoneau with a pair of assists in the first period. His wrist shot knocked down by Poirier. Back into the forecheck. And sent back into the Charlottetown end. And then a forecheck And that puck is knocked over the glass and out of play with just over 2 minutes gone here in period 2.
That was Carter McCluskey on that forecheck, and good to see the Quispamsis native aggressively playing. The Sea Dogs are going to need some grit and grind from this line. This LaForge out on the ice along with Foston.
Well, no fewer than 3 St. John area, well, actually 4 St. John area players on the roster. Carter McCluskey and Adam Bonus are both from Quispamsis. Riley Bizot from Rossay. So 3 St. John. Oh, there's a shot off the inside of the post. And now a fan by Drapeau and a lead pass. Here's Ben Boyd over the line. Boyd will throw it at the net, but just missed on the short side. Puck comes back out. Here come the Sea Dogs breaking in on a 2-on-2, and that's fired in deep. Those Sea Dogs put one off the post. Islanders go back the other way. Things are opening up here just a little bit here as they race back and forth. 3 now behind the net. Oh, there's a shot long up ice pass. That's off the inside of stick of Picard. Puck goes to the corner. Picard puts the body on the Islanders defenseman Lowen. Now back to the point. Poirier protecting the puck. Going wide, trying to center it. The puck is in the skates of the Islanders defenseman. Lowen will shovel it up the boards, and it comes outside the lines. Poirier quickly swings back into his own end. Now a pass cross ice. Picard will get it in over the line. And now Savoy, we got a penalty coming here as Cormier gets bumped from behind, and Jeremy Poirier will head across to the box, and the Islanders will have their first power play of the night.
Well, the Sea Dogs looking a little more comfortable in their skin to start this second period, but very quickly an opportunity for the Islanders to add to their 2-goal lead. Sea Dogs struggled last season on their penalty kill. We'll see how they look at the man disadvantage as penalty killers.
So the Sea Dogs are on the Moose Light penalty kill, and a quick one-timer from the inner slot area at Budgel, and Lemieux with a beautiful glove save.
Well, that's Lemieux's best save of the night. A quick release and an equally quick glove save by Jonathan Lemieux, the former Val-d'Or forward, the veteran.
One of the 20-year-olds in St. John this year. There's a shot high from the point over top of the net. Bizot plays it back behind the net. Sea Dogs have lots of time, but a feeble attempt to clear it. Does come out, though. And Cormier will drop it back. And now that'll give the Sea Dogs a chance to get out. Cole Foston will join the penalty kill. Simoneau dropping it back for Cormier. Over for Brabanek. Back to Cormier. Fakes the slap shot. Now moves it down. And now a cross ice pass comes back. Cormier rips one, but that's off Cole Foston. Behind the net. Far boards. Back to Cormier again. One time he passes it, and Brabanek goes to the far side. Lowen, the 20-year-old assistant captain, works it to the side of the net. Now back to Cormier at the top. Now he'll dish it off, and there's a shot that goes off Innes and then floats over top of the net. Puck on the far boards. Now Cormier lets one fly from the middle lane, and that's on goal, and hanging on to that's Lemieux, and he'll just squeeze the pads. 38 seconds to go in the power play.
Well, that's the kind of goaltending you expect from a 20-year-old veteran in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. The Islanders throwing the puck around with some authority on their power play, but Lemieux able to swallow that puck up. No rebound is the best rebound for a goaltender. And face off to his right.
At the point, Trudeau moving it down to the side. Now it's Back to Trudeau again. This time a Knapp shot low but wide of the goal. Looking for a tip at the back post. Didn't get it. And the puck slides all the way back with 20 seconds to go. And the Islanders will have to hurry if they're going to get another scoring opportunity with the man advantage. And Trudeau dropping it back. Here come the Islanders in over that line. And Patrick Gay will keep it in. Now back to the point, into the skates of Trudeau. Trudeau gets it over for Gay. Back to Trudeau. Trying to get a shot lane there, and it hits a body in front, and the puck will come out. And now reaching back is Poirier as he comes out of the box. And the whistle goes. Poirier returns, so the Sea Dogs are able to kill off that penalty. And we have both teams making changes now that we're even strength.
Well, we might have been a bit hard on the Sea Dog power play. 3 opportunities in the first period and coming up blank, but there's the Islanders' first look at their power play that wasn't exactly world beaters. As early in the season, teams trying to sort of find their way on their special teams, experimenting with different combinations, and both teams not having success with their man advantage.
With some speed coming down the wing. Cam McDonald get the shot away, and actually that was not Cam McDonald, that was Carter McCluskey with that burst of speed, and that's turned aside by Gooby. Back come the Islanders into the zone. Garrosh rubs out the Islander winger and sends it back into the Charlottetown end, and that will be icing, and Brady Burns thought that perhaps he's in conversation now with the linesman, but we got a timeout here, Bruce, with 6.5 gone here in period 2, and the Islanders holding that 2-0 lead, which both those goals coming in the first 10 minutes of the first period.
Well, the game has kind of settled into a bit of a rhythm now, as that first period was a real struggle for St. John. And as I mentioned earlier, sort of that opening night jitters. You just you want things to go well. You want to, put on a bit of a show. It's been a long time coming. Of course, the Sea Dogs, even in their preseason, did not play a game here with the refurbishing of lights and boards and glass. And we see the effects of it here, but St. John has not played 1 minute on this ice surface to start the season, or even with preseason. So it's a process, and certainly no reason to panic. The Sea Dogs look much more comfortable here in the second. Still trail by 2, but the shot clock still in favor of St. John at 16-13 at this point.
Glass pounded off the glass. Puck will go back into the Charlottetown end. Allowing up on the far side. Stepping in front of that was Villeneuve and wristing it in deep. Now Sea Dogs going to work it off the wall, but puck brought out to center, and then Chris Innes puts a big hit on the Islanders forward, and that was Sam Archibald took that hit. Back come the Islanders to the line. Archibald can't get it in deep. Now it's slapped in behind the net. Up on the boards, comes free, and Burns gets it to Innes. Innes with a quick pass coming down off the wing, trying to drive the net to forward. Does shot, save, and a good one from Gooby. Back to the point. Shot again. This from Drapeau. That does not get through. And now the puck to center. Dumped in deep. Now in the corner. Worked along the boards. Back to the point. And Seaman with a quick shot up high. And that was over top of the net. And the puck coming back to the Islander line. Landowski for Trudeau. Trudeau will walk into the high slot area, and then that shot goes wide. And Chris Innes with a big hit on the Islander forward at the side of the net. Now the puck played down into the Charlottetown end. Icing is the call.
Well, that was a close foot race. Bizzo almost beat it out to the puck, but it is going to come all the way back into St. John territory, and of course the Sea Dogs not able to change. So there'll be some tired legs for St. John staying out. Good news is Josh Lawrence taking the faceoff. He's been outstanding in this game and wins another one.
Now the puck will come free, and Budgel with a quick shot. Lemieux makes the save. Back to the point, Trudeau. Trudeau cross ice. Blandowski will walk to the dot, and the cross ice pass, and that was just a little too far in front of Oliver. Around the boards, Blandowski will just keep it in. Now in the corner, to the front of the net, they score! And that went off the skate of a Sea Dog defenseman and fell perfectly for the Islanders winger on the far side. We'll see who gets credit on that. It might be Brett Budgel. And he's the ever opportunistic Newfoundlander. And yes, it is Brett Budgel with the goal. 3-0 Charlottetown.
Boy, it's just been a rough night for St. John. Just when they started to feel like their confidence and legs returning, it's a quick turnover, and the Islanders capitalize, making it a 3-0 Islander lead. And the Sea Dogs have some work to do with 1 minute and 31 seconds away from the halfway point of the second period.
Poirier sends it up on the far side. Now it's Reynolds sends it back behind the net. That puck comes up to the point, and a shot there that's tipped in front. But you had to be awfully alert there, as that almost, Gallant tipping that in front, almost found its way 5-hole.
That's a huge save by Lemieux, because the Sea Dogs, you get a feeling of them sagging a little bit, and they need that veteran experience to settle things down. That was a big stop for the St. John goaltender. And right now the Sea Dogs need one line to really ratchet it up to get something going.
Now in neutral ice. Now it's brought back to the Islanders zone. Now up the far side. Poirier steps up with a hit on Archibald. Now it's back along the boards. Archibald persists, working away, but now it's knocked, and Boston trying to chip it around the Islander defenseman. Cormier puts it into the Charlottetown bench.
Well, we're 41 seconds away from the midway point of the hockey game, and it's been, well, the first half of this game, John, the Sea Dogs have really found themselves chasing this game. They have not been in command, and just when they started to feel like they were sort of leveling off and getting something going, the Islanders strike again with the only goal of this second period.
There's a shot from the point. It was tipped and goes over top of the net. Now Blandowski on the point. His pass cross ice blocked by Bizot. Bizot now gets it up, and here's McDonald going to the net as McCluskey, and McDonald with a heavy shot over top of the net. Now in comes Bizot and McDonald with a hit on Blandowski. There's a shot from the point that's blocked away by Gooby. And now the Sea Dogs get first to Reynolds trying to center. It's off a stick to the far boards. Bizot with McDonald in deep. Now Trudeau. He will carry it out into neutral ice, over center, to the St. John line. Now into the corner, and then a shot that ripples the outside of the mesh. Now it comes up on the far side. Sea Dogs break up ice, but they're going to get a line change, so that odd man rush. Now a drop pass coming in is Villeneuve in front, and there's a backhand attempt from Burns, but that doesn't work. So Dufour over to Villeneuve, stepping over center and rimming it in. On the boards, Burns gets it down low. Hustling over there is Dufour. Back for Lawrence. Lawrence, 9 points in the preseason to lead the hockey club. Now Sam Oliver. He'll race into the corner. Drapeau leaning on him. Now behind the net, Innes. He gets to the corner and lobs it out through center. Puck bouncing down, but back is Lowen. Veteran D-man. Up off a stick. Drapeau will bring it back for the Sea Dogs. And there's a cross-ice pass there's a pass in front. Scott scores. Dufour hits Josh Lawrence, and Lawrence goes up top. Top corner. Sea Dogs are on the board, trail 3-1.
Well, that's a huge goal for the St. John Sea Dogs. Josh Lawrence sniping, as you said, John, led the team in points in the preseason. And it's the Lawrence, Defoe, Burns line that gets St. John on the scoreboard finally. Islanders lead cut to 3-1. It's a real nice passing play as Dufour finds Lawrence going to the net, and he makes no mistake, top shelf.
8 minutes to go here in the second. See if the Sea Dogs get a little more life here after that goal. Trailing 2-0 after one. And they now find themselves down 3-1 here. Puck kept into the point by Lowen. Lowen dishes it off, and a slap shot from Drew Elliott. And now you got a penalty coming here, and now Jeremy Poirier was involved at first. And now we've got a couple of players taking a couple of swings here and there. We'll see how many players actually go to the box, but Poirier is on his way. Well, maybe not Poirier. It's Picard and Ben Boyd, perhaps.
Well, Boyd jumped in. He was the one with the initial punch to the head of Poirier. Poirier went down, and then Picard jumped in to defend his teammate. So I suspect offsetting penalties, John, is what's going to come out of this one. But that's what's on the board right now. Picard for 2, and then it's Ben Boyd, as you mentioned, from Dartmouth in the penalty box. There's an extra man in the box, though, John. I'm not sure what. Now it looks like the Sea Dogs are actually going to come out of this with a power play.
Irving Oil power play, 4th of the night for the Sea Dogs. Back to Villeneuve, dishing it over. One-timer, and slap shot from Cam McDonald is blocked by Gubi with the pad. Sea Dogs working hard to get to that puck, and is fired out the middle, and Villeneuve tried to knock it out of midair, got a piece of it, but the puck comes outside the zone, and now Villeneuve will dart in over the line, and that puck is knocked and chopped away by Simoneau. Now Villeneuve again. Waits, and now gets over center and throws it in. Gubi out of the net, but can't get to that puck in time. Now Reynolds over for Dufour. To the point to Villeneuve. Back to Dufour. Dufour will try to put it through the middle, but too many skates. And now the Sea Dogs do control with Reynolds. Reynolds is passed cross ice off a stick. Dufour will keep it in, down low. Now on the far side, back to the point. Villeneuve will toss it over to Dufour. Dufour could not get the shot away. Villeneuve will have it once more on the boards to Dufour. Dufour feeding the point. Villeneuve will dish it off. A one-timer that sails high and wide off the stick of Peter Reynolds. 45 seconds left in the power play as Villeneuve will slowly skate in behind the net. Now getting it up to Poirier. Poirier with some speed, moving it up on the wing. Here's Lawrence. Lawrence down the wing, trying to cut to the net, fighting off a hook. And the puck comes along the boards. To the point. DeRoche will swing it far side. Now Poirier. He'll unload it. Save, rebound, puck in front. Sea Dogs can't get to it. And that's taken by Gallant around the boards, wristing it hard, and it'll go the length of the ice. 15 seconds left in this Irving Oil power play. Poirier. Sam. Drew Elliott chasing. Now over for DeRoche. And that puck is wired back into the St. John end. And we're all even here. 6 minutes to go, period 2. Islanders with a 3-1 lead. Elliott trying to make a pass to the middle of the ice, and it was blocked by Carter McCluskey. Almost turned into a scoring chance. Now in neutral ice in front of that Sea Dogs bench. Drew Elliott wearing the cage tonight. He'll go to the Islanders bench, slips over the boards. On the boards here now. And puck is out to center and thrown back in by North. Michael Horth, rather. Puck in the air. Poirier stumbles and falls, but gets it to his partner. And DeRochkin's it down on ice. Gooby will move it to Plandowski. Plandowski up the middle off the stick of the Islanders forward Sam Oliver. And the St. John native arrives on Lemieux's doorstep, so Lemieux, the vet, hangs on. We've got a timeout here in the building. 5:10 to go, period 2. And the Islanders with a 2-goal lead, 3-1 here.
Well, the Sea Dogs continue to work hard. They've been rewarded on the scoreboard finally in this second period. Lead on the shot clock, now at 22-18, but trail by 2 with 5:10 left in this second period. All 4 lines now engaged for the Sea Dogs. They have rolled the lines a little bit more. Some good energy coming, and it's been a frustrating start, but certainly a much better second period for St. John. And if they could pick up another goal before the period is out, that would really set the stage for an exciting third. Josh Lawrence picking up, obviously, the first goal of the season for St. John. We talked about him leading in the preseason with points, and he's been extremely good on his faceoffs here tonight.
Here's Cam McDonald. Will flip it up to Reynolds. Reynolds getting angled off the puck by Trudeau. And now Simoneau goes far side. LeBlanc comes over, picks up the drop pass, throws it at net, and that one off the stick in front and up into the netting.
Line change coming over the boards. Savoie with Picard along with Sapelnikov. Just trying to get something generated on this line. Again, you can see the potential. 3 very good hockey players together, but just kind of getting used to one another.
Lucas Cormier fighting off the pressure of Savoie. Up to center. Puck backhanded to the line, gets caught up in the linesman, so they can't enter the zone. Now on the second attempt, they get it in deep. And Poirier is first to it. Now there's a nice pass up to Savoie. Puck on those far boards. Lucas Cormier will head deep and around for his partner. Lowen up to Horth. To Lowen to Cormier. Now he'll slow it down as he didn't enter the zone. Circles around and then gets it over the line, but Poirier bringing it back. Here's Poirier as he rushes up ice to the blue line. Poirier now will try to throw it at the net. That's off a leg and comes to the near boards. Lawrence trying to keep it deep. Now Poirier as he spins. Cormier breaks that up, and now here come the Islanders through center. It's a bank deep, puck deep. First to it behind the net, and down goes an Islander, and Poirier is going to pick up a minor for the hit on the Islanders forward, Kieran Gallant. And Gallant looks to be okay. Poirier will go to the box, and the Islanders will have their second power play of the night. Here comes that Moosehead Light. Sea Dogs penalty kill.
Jeremy Poirier, we talked John, in the pregame about Poirier coming back from the Calgary Flames training camp and fatigue, sort of getting back into the groove. He just doesn't seem to be in sync right now. That's the second penalty of the game, and certainly he draws lots of attention. So there's lots of emotion out there on the ice, but Poirier with his second back-to-back penalty for St. John.
Well, let's see. The Sea Dogs, looks like the Islanders thought they had a goal here, but the net came off. The whistle had gone prior to the goal. I do believe, referee certainly indicating that behind the net, so score remains 3-1.
Well, it was a huge traffic jam in front of the Sea Dogs goaltender Lemieux, and referee Brad Mills calling it off immediately. So no protest from Jim Holton, the head coach of the Islanders, and the face-off will come to the right of the St. John goaltender. Lawrence logging lots of ice time, taking this draw, and wins it again.
And that puck lifted up high, and down it goes. And Gooby will leave it for Cormier. Again, the Sea Dogs on the Moose Light penalty kill. 3 minutes to go here in the second. And carrying it up through the neutral ice area. There's a pass and a quick shot from just the side of the goal. Nice little play there to spring the Islander. That was their Jacob Probanek. It's an impressive first game of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League. He's been effective for the Islanders here tonight. Now Budgel scored that third goal for the Islanders. Good battle on the far side by Chris Innes, and he manages to muscle it out. Budgel takes a hit in front of the bench from Bizot. And Islanders enter the zone offside. Then a whistle after a bump after the whistle. Budgel took exception to that, but
well, Sea Dogs doing a nice job of killing a chunk of this power play for the Islanders. 41 seconds left in their man advantage, and it'll be Picard out, who seems to be a chosen penalty killer for St. John, along with Foston up front.
Trudeau going wide to the corner. Now back along the boards, setting it up on this power play. Now Plandowski over for, that was a one-timer from Patrick Gay. And it was blocked, though, and the puck now in the corners. Puck comes up the boards. Plandowski lost sight of it, glances off him and into the Islanders bench. 14 seconds left in the penalty. 1:40 to go here in the second period. Reminder, my guest will be the Sea Dogs chief scout, Anthony Stella, joining us in the second intermission. Reynolds in for this draw, won by the Islanders, and coming off the point was Trudeau, but a shot that was blocked by the Sea Dogs defender, Vincent Despont.
John, in your interview with Anthony Stella, I'd be very interested in a question for him concerning the Quebec Major Junior Entry Draft, which is going to be online again this year, and wondering if that is a factor and how it impacts them as they make their selections, because with this pandemic, everything has gone video.
Yeah, it's a great question, and we see it at the NHL. Even NHL teams are spending more and more time and energy and money on video.
Well, we're down to 1:07 left here in this second period. You get a feeling, too, John, that the Islanders quite prepared to put St. John to sleep. and ride their 2-goal lead right into the third and onto their bus and home tonight. But St. John are pressing, battling their way back into this hockey game.
Puck in deep, out of the net comes Gooby, but turns it over, put it right onto the stick of the Sea Dogs forechecker, but fortunately, no danger. Now LeBlanc throws it at the net, that hits a skate, and now at the side of the goal, Islanders trying to jam it in, but taken away by Josh Lawrence. What a puck comes out, and now here's a chance to Dufour, one-on-one. And the pass coming late was Lawrence, and the pass just a little too far in front of Lawrence. Could not get a good clean shot away. Lowen playing that well for the Islanders on that far side. Lowen shovels it up on the glass, and that will come out. Villeneuve now gets it up to Dufour. Dufour trying to fight his way around Cormier, and Cormier reaching in, but no penalty on the play. And now the puck slides out. Poirier whistles it back in. Seconds remaining in the period. Gooby out of the net. Handles that. Leaving it for Cormier. Cormier took a hit behind the net from Savoie. And now we've got a bit of a scrum in the corner. Sticks are up. But we'll see if I don't think there's a penalty coming as of yet. And Jacob Gooby says enough, and he's headed to that Islanders dressing room, and the players start to slowly file off as well, so no penalties to come at the end of the period. But Islanders have a 3-1 lead after 40. Bruce has your 2-period recap when we return a little later in the intermission. I'll be joined by the Sea Dogs Chief Scout Anthony Stella, and of course we'll check the out-of-town scoreboard. That's all to come. We'll be back. This is Sea Dogs Hockey presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
Historic St. John, New Brunswick. Canada's first chartered bank, fire insurance company, and biscuit factory opened in St. John. The first soda crackers in Canada were sold in St. John. The first Boy Scout Apple Day was organized in St. John in 1931. Historic St. John, New Brunswick.
When you use a WarAmps key tag, you're giving yourself peace of mind, and you're supporting the CHAMP program for child amputees. If you lose your keys, the WarAmps can return them to you by courier with the help of your personalized key tag. Key return by courier. It's simple, fast, and it's free. What's more, thanks to your support, child amputees receive the artificial limbs they need to lead active lives. Order your key tags at 1-800-250-3030 or waramps.ca.
Some people think wetlands are wastelands. Actually, marshes and other wetlands are important ecosystems, home to an amazing diversity of wildlife. Without them, some species would disappear. We would suffer too, since wetlands help purify and control the levels of our water. Many of these fragile areas are being lost to development, so let's do what we can to protect wetlands. To learn more, visit hww.ca.
You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
We're back at TD Station in St. John in the second period intermission between the visiting Charlottetown Islanders and home team St. John Sea Dogs. A much better period for St. John in that second. We'll take you through a 2-period summary when we come back. You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio on 93 CFBC. Period Summary is next. Brought to you by Loch Lomond Mitsubishi. Built better, backed better, just better.
Freddie, Tire-tober is back, and you know what that means.
Oh, don't say tire puns.
It means I'm pumped for Maritimers to tread on over to Loch Lomond Mitsubishi.
So tire puns it is then.
Because every new Mitsubishi comes with free winter tires on rims. That's a really good deal, Fred.
It's too bad these puns weren't really good.
St. John, during Tire-tober, roll on into Loch Lomond Mitsubishi and get your free winter tires on rims with every new Mitsubishi.
Is that it for the puns now, Jamie?
Oh, I think I can spare you the rest, Fred. Mitsubishi, drive your ambition.
You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
welcome back to TD Station in the second period intermission between the Charlottetown Islanders and St. John Sea Dogs to give you the two-period scoring summary and take you through the events. Scoring got underway at 5:26 of the first period. William Trudeau for the Islanders puts Charlottetown on the board. Assists going to Patrick LeBlanc, Xavier Semino, and the Islanders were up 1-0. They make it 2-0 at the 8:13 mark of the first period. Noah Lowen. Assist going to Patrick LeBlanc, and a second assist on the night for Xavier Semino. And it was 2-0 in favor of the Islanders after 20 minutes. 3 penalties in the first period, all going against the Islanders. Sea Dog power play firing blanks and could not get on the scoreboard. They were on the shot clock, though, 13-10 in favor of St. John after 20 minutes, but still trailed 2-0 after the opening frame. In the second period, it was the Islanders once more, scoring at 8:29, making it 3-0. Brent Budgell, his first of the season. Karen Gallant and William Trudeau picking up assists, and all of a sudden the Islanders were comfortably in lead of the game at 3-0. Finally, the Sea Dogs get on the scoreboard. 11:13 of the second period. Josh Lawrence picking up the first goal of the game for St. John and the first goal for the Sea Dogs in this season. Assists going to William Dufour, the newcomer from Drummondville, and Brady Burns. And the Sea Dogs now trailed 3-1. Shot clock in favor of the Islanders, 10-9 in that second period, but a much better period, as I mentioned before, for St. John. They still are up on the shot clock, 22-20 after 40 minutes, but still trailing 3-1. A few more penalties to report in the second period, and it was 3 against the Sea Dogs, 2 against the Islanders, but nobody having success with their man advantages. All the special teams coming up with no power play goals in the first 2 periods. That is the summary after 40 minutes. We'll take a break and be back with John Moore interviewing with Anthony Stella, the assistant general manager of the St. John Sea Dogs, with lots to talk about as they look to the future for the Memorial Cup and the upcoming Q Draft. You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
When your mind creates an image, it's vivid. When your mind imagines a smell,
The bread, she's already.
it's as enticing as being in the kitchen. And when your mind interprets a sound, you're standing there watching the action. Radio, the medium that works with your mind. Radio paints the picture. Radio touches the senses. Radio constructs the vision you never see. When radio is used creatively, effectively, it brings sight, sound, and feelings to everyone. Use radio for your message. There's no better way to get the word out. Call this station for details. On radio, the medium that works with your mind.
Call 506-658-5100 and press 6. Advertise your message, your brand on 93 CFBC.
These are the sounds of impaired driving. And then...
I don't think he's going to make it.
When you drive impaired, there's a price we all pay. Emergency response costs, doctors, caregivers, and more. Studies show that impaired driving costs us billions of dollars each year. But the victims of impaired driving? pay the biggest price.
Change for the better.
Mad Canada, helping the victim, stopping the crime.
You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
Welcome back to TD Station here in St. John. Sea Dogs trailing 3-1 to the Islanders in their home opener. We're in the second intermission, and our intermission guest brought to you by Advantage Auto. Delighted to have the Sea Dogs Assistant General Manager, Chief Scout, and Assistant General Manager Anthony Stella joining us. Anthony, you're number 5 with the organization as the Assistant General Manager. Thanks for making the trip up and joining us here tonight. How long have you been in St. John?
Thanks a lot, John. Been here since August. It's I was just thinking about it today. That first season here. Now 5 years later, kind of how much the team has changed, how much things have changed. So it's been good.
Things really changed here as of a week ago when the announcement of the St. John Sea Dogs would host the 2022 Memorial Cup, and maybe I know that you were in the office when the CHL president Dan McKenzie walked in. Just to take us back to that moment, just how exciting a time it was.
Yeah, it was very exciting. I mean, all the work that we put in, and Trevor and Mark Anthony, all the work they put into to get this bid together. It was exciting. It kind of all happened pretty fast. A lot of smiling faces, and I think there was a moment in the office where kind of you saw half of the room was smiling, and then the other half was kind of a bit more serious, which was myself, the coaching staff, and people are like, "Aren't you happy?" It's like, we're very happy, but we have to win it now, right?
Yeah.
So I think it was celebration, and then it was also reality setting in where the pressure is on and we're in the spotlight, and now it's time to get the job done.
So how does that change your approach? If it had not been, I mean, obviously, still, if Quebec had won the right to host, you're still gonna compete. You're still gonna. There's a second team that goes, but now that you're hosting, you know that in June, on June the 3rd, you'll be one of the 4 teams competing here. How does that change what you do?
Well, I'd say for me personally, and the plan, we wanted to win the Memorial Cup this year. That was the plan. If we lost hosting it, that it didn't change our mindset of we want to win the Memorial Cup this year. We started building with these O2s. It was always when they're 19, that's when we want to win. So for me, that plan hasn't changed. Now we're in the Final Four, so now it's about just making sure we have the best team possible. But in terms of the plan, not much has changed, because I think the players we're looking on bringing in and stuff like that, those names haven't changed. So,
all right, I posed this question to Trevor Georgie in the first intermission. I'll ask you the same. There were a lot of acquisitions over the course of the summer. Who, in your estimation, will make the biggest impact on this team this season?
I think giving you one name, I'd probably say it's probably William Dufour, the goal scorer. But I'd say there's a lot of maybe guys in the room. Olivier Picard, he's someone that brings that character. People in Val-d'Or said you're getting our leader. I think Jonathan Lemieux brings that as well, and I think Vincent Despons is someone who came in, and he is already a leader in the locker room, in the gym, all that. So, to give you one answer, I mean, I don't want to leave anyone out of it, but I'd hope on ice, the difference maker has to be Dufour.
All right, and what is he capable of? He's a New York Islander prospect. Obviously, he can score goals. What kind of numbers might he be capable of this season?
I mean, if he hits 50, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
If he hits 50, I'd be happy. If he doesn't score 30, I think he'd be disappointed in himself, myself as well. But but my number is if he could hit 40, 50, it's not easy to get 50 goals, but the players he's playing with, the opportunities he's getting, I would like to see that.
How difficult was it to pry him out of Val-d'Or?
Yeah, I mean,
Drummondville.
Yeah, there was a lot of teams that wanted him, and we really wanted him. We had to give up a young prospect in Simon Hughes and an 8th overall pick, which for me draft picks, I don't like giving them up. So giving up an 8th overall pick, you're hoping that the return is significant, and a guy we drafted in the 2nd round, Hughes, like I said. So I think we paid a lot, and hopefully it pays dividends.
All right, now thoughts just before I let you go here on tonight's game. You're down 3-1 in the home opener. A shaky start, but perhaps improving in the second. What your thoughts?
I'd say probably a lot of material for the coach to work with the players. Yeah. If I could turn this into a positive, there's probably a lot of things to go over. The good news is in 12 hours, we're in Charlottetown, right, and we got another game, so that's the season started. Yep.
Anthony, appreciate you joining us. Look forward to perhaps chatting again as the season moves on.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot.
Anthony Stella, Assistant General Manager of the St. John Sea Dogs, my guest. Joined this intermission interview brought to you by Advantage Auto. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the scoreboard. Sea Dogs trailing 3-1, heading toward period 3. This is Sea Dogs Hockey, presented by TD and 93 CFPC.
Radio's all you need. Radio's all you need. When you've got a radio, you can hear everything. You can take it anywhere. You can hear the whole world sing. It's up close and personal, feels that way to me. I believe in radio. Radio's all you need. When you've got a radio, you're never out of touch. You know which way the wind will blow, who's winning and how much. It can feed your imagination. Best of all, it's free. Radio's all you need. Radio's all you need. Radio's all you need. Radio's all you need.
Call 506-658-5100 and press 6. Advertise your message, your brand on 93 CFBC.
Historic St. John, New Brunswick. The first mayor of St. John was the Honorable G. Ludlow, appointed in April of 1784. Streetlights first appeared in St. John in 1845. The first suspension bridge in St. John was completed in 1853, spanning Reversing Falls. Historic St. John, New Brunswick.
Some people think wetlands are wastelands. Actually, marshes and other wetlands are important ecosystems, home to an amazing diversity of wildlife. Without them, some species would disappear. We would suffer too, since wetlands help purify and control the levels of our water. Many of these fragile areas are being lost to development, so let's do what we can to protect wetlands. To learn more, visit hww.ca.
You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio on 93 CFBC. Q League Roundup next. Brought to you by Leon's. Live better, sleep better, feel better.
The days might be getting shorter, but that means the nights are getting longer, and there's no better time to stay nestled in your bed a few extra minutes. Hi, it's Bridget from the Leon Sleep Center. The only thing better than a new mattress to stay cozy in is getting that mattress during the Save the Tax event at Leon's. For a limited time only, you can save the tax on select mattresses from Sealy and Kingsdown. Plus, free local delivery and setup. Get the details from your mattress professional. You're locally owned and operated at Leon's, 428 Rossley Avenue. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
You're listening to Sea Dogs Radio, presented by TD on 93 CFBC.
And John Moore, Bill, and Bruce Smith back here at TD Station. Quickly, let's check the out-of-town scoreboard. Third period just about to get underway. Acadie Bathurst at home, 4-2 over the Wildcats. and they're early in the third period. The Mooseheads have a 2-1 lead on Cape Breton at Center 200, and they have 15 minutes to go in the third. Here are some other partials. Rimouski and Quebec scoreless. 2-1 Huskies over Sherbrooke. Drummondville and Val-d'Or tied at 1. The Armada and Gatineau scoreless. Bécomo leads Chicoutimi 1-0, and it's scoreless Victoriaville and Shawinigan. That's the out-of-town scoreboard. Third period underway, and the Sea Dogs, trailing by 2, get the puck in as McDonald tips it past Lowen. In the forecheck, and knocked down behind the net was Peter Reynolds. Puck around the boards, far point. Snap back down low behind the, coming off the point is Dupont. Tries to push it towards the net, but that's prevented from going to the goal. And now the Islanders, here's Lucas Cormier stepping up, and that pass beyond the Islanders winger. Puck goes behind the net. Lemieux out of the round behind the net, and Cam McDonald will push it down towards that goal. That may be icing. Yes, it is. And we get a whistle here in the first minute.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, much better second period for St. John. They traded goals with the Islanders, but they certainly have some work ahead of them, trailing by 2. Just underway in this third period, but you play it one shift at a time. Reynolds line on the ice. Face off deep in Sea Dog territory.
Xavier Simoneau, acquired by the Islanders in the offseason. A big pickup. 20-year-old. Great leadership, and certainly a number of teams, including the Sea Dogs, looking at perhaps acquiring Simoneau, but has a great reputation. So many qualities you want in the player and in the person.
Well, he certainly already made his mark on the scoreboard, picking up 2 assists in the first 2 goals for the Islanders. So the veteran, his presence already felt.
Draw to that right of Jacob Gooby. Simoneau in for this draw. And won by the Sea Dogs. Villeneuve will get it over to his partner, and Poirier will chop at it. Puck comes along the boards, now into the corner. Vizo trying to muscle his way to the net. Blandowski keeps him wide. Puck comes to the front, but taken away by the Islanders and wristed out to center ice. Now Villeneuve for Picard. Picard back to Poirier. Poirier will skate up over the red and rims it in. Lemieux out of the, or rather Gooby out of the net. Sends it around the far boards. DeRoche will chop it back down low. And in the corner, Trudeau, bumped by Savoie. Blandowski gets it up to Boyd, and Boyd sends it off the wall down. It'll go for icing. Islanders trying to get a line change before icing. And we'll see the face-off come all the way back into the Charlottetown end.
We chatted before the game, John, how Jim Holden's teams always show up prepared. And certainly the Charlottetown Islanders, we raved about their season of last year, but knowing full well that the Islanders would come out here tonight and give the Sea Dogs all they could handle. And the season starts pretty tough for St. John with a plethora of Islander and Bathurst games. They won't be easy, that's for sure.
Jim Halton, 6th year in the league, head coach and general manager. Actually, he was an assistant coach in the NHL. Many people have forgotten that with the Florida Panthers. But has certainly had a real impact in Charlottetown since taking over as the GM from Grant Saunier.
You get a feeling with Jim Holden, it's like job for life in Charlottetown if he wanted to go that route. But you'd also get a feeling that Jim Holden, his future quite bright and moving along in the game seems to be inevitable for Jim Holden.
Now here come the Islanders down. Kieran Gallant just couldn't get the shot away as Chris Hinnis with a great stick check, keeping that stick on stick. It didn't allow Gallant to get the shot away. Now Islanders back in their own end. Here comes Cormier. Cormier will cut to the middle, but taken away by Burns. Innes. His pass. That's off. Drew Elliott. The puck goes back behind the net. Innes gets to it. Up for Dufour. Dufour will backhand it out, but Lowen is there. Lowen up for Archibald. Archibald will push it off of the wing, and then a shot from the far side goes wide. Behind the net. Innes with a good, strong stick to take that one away. Lobs it up the middle low, and is kept in there by Horth. He'll backhand it to the corner. Archibald buzzing around, but the Sea Dogs fired around the wall. Cormier will pinch. Brings it in down into the corner. Running into Innes. Now it comes back, and Cormier has it once more. Cormier fights off the check and then throws it wide. Boston leaning on Cormier. Puck to the corner. Islanders trying to work it to the front, but it's off a stick. Sent up the boards. Boston finally gets it out. Now it's Cormier heading back into the St. John end. Over to the dot now, trying to get a backhander away. Throws it to the front, but that's turned away. And then a turnover and a shot and a good save from Lemieux. And we've got, looks like perhaps Brett Budgel maybe, and Drapon perhaps. And a tight embrace in behind the net. Both linesmen trying to separate them. And they may have both earned a trip to the box.
Yeah, no question about that. Of course, Brent Budgel's been sticking his nose in throughout the night. Not willing to take any prisoners, and, well, there's plenty of fight in Nathan Drapeau as well. So they're both going to go off to cool off for a bit. We'll see what comes up on the boards, whether it's just simply 2 minutes for roughing, and that appears to be the direction it's going. So it will give Budgel a chance to cool down, along with Nathan Drapeau.
Drapeau is 16. He's got a late birthday, I believe, and Budgel will be the 20-year-old. One of the 20-year-olds in Charlottetown. So he'd be 17 in December, I believe. All right. Now DeRoche giving it to Villeneuve, and then a return pass for DeRoche, but that's well in front of him. It'll go all the way down, and that'll be icing. 4 minutes gone here in the third. Islanders with a 3-1 lead.
It's not really a disadvantage for St. John with the kind of speed they've got to be playing 4-on-4. It just opens up the ice a little bit more. The Islanders have done a nice job of neutralizing the Sea Dogs' speed. And really heavy going, clogged up kind of a game along the boards. Lots of battles, and everything is very tight. There doesn't seem to be much room to move out there for St. John.
Cam McDonald gives it off to Poirier. Let's check that. That's DeRoche. Now the puck in over the line. Along the boards. McDonald for Reynolds. Reynolds curls in the corner, flames it back to the point. Moving in, there's a drive, and that slap shot is blocked. And down goes the Islander, slow to get that. That was Simoneau who took that one for the team. Now, there's Gay giving it to Trudeau. Trudeau with a quick shot. Save made and a rebound, and another save from Lemieux. So a couple of good, solid saves for Lemieux, keeping the Sea Dogs in this one here. Trailing by 2. Another goal could just be too much for the Sea Dogs to overcome. You got to believe that next goal, Bruce, is awfully important.
Yeah, for sure. And shot clock showing now tied at 23 apiece. But no question Lemieux has had the more difficult saves to make in those 23 shots that he has faced. And he is he's played very well and cannot be faulted on any of the goals that he's given up.
Poirier up on the far side, and Islanders. Now here's Josh Lawrence with a little burst of speed there, trying to come away with the puck, but the Islanders recover. And now they'll slow it down, and Gallant will play it back behind the Islanders' goal. Now Allowance steps out at the side and snaps the puck up the far side. Islanders entering the zone, cutting to the middle, and there's a shot that goes up off a stick and up high, and Lemieux will grab that with a trapper. Cormier with the shot.
Well, it was unfortunate the Sea Dogs couldn't keep that play going because all of a sudden an Islander player had a broken stick, so it really would have been 4 players against 3 players with sticks and 1 player without a stick. And that would be quite an advantage with that open ice, but Lemieux forced to hang on to that puck flipped in the air, and so the faceoff will be to his left.
Winning the draw. Villeneuve getting it over to Savoie. Villeneuve now down for Burns. Burns' stick is tied up. Puck comes off the end boards, and Gooby scoops that one up.
Well, we've lost a bit of the flow of the game, John. There was one point we felt like the game was opening up, end-to-end action, and right now it's just kind of grinding down in the early stages of this third period.
Five minutes gone here in the third period. And these two teams face off tomorrow night at the Eastlink Center. In the second of the... There's a lead pass. Coming out of the box was the defenseman Drapeau. And that pass just a little too far in front of the young defenseman. Now a nice little spin move by Trudeau to get some time, and now he puts it up, and Blandowski gets it out. And then he heads to the bench. Sea Dogs rifle it right back in. Along the near boards, Bizot trying to get it in deep. There's a lead pass coming in over the line, and then that puck drops back to Brudgel, but he can't finish it. And now Bizot, he crosses the blue line. Well, flip it in a little deeper behind the net now. Puck goes to the corner. Brudgel gets there first. Out to center. To the blue line. A good hit at the line. And leaning, that was Vincent Despont with a hit at the line. Maynard will throw the puck in to the St. John zone. And Poirier has it now. Up for Villeneuve off the glass to center. Now Ben Boyd will move it to the far side. It's fired in by the Islanders. Out of the net, Lemieux. Around for Cam McDonald. McDonald, a nice pass to Reynolds. Reynolds coming in, and then a snapshot, and that's off the stick of Cormier up on the glass. Puck in deep. There's a snapshot on the far side. Easy glove save for Jacob Gooby. And we have a timeout here at TV station. Jacob Gooby makes the stop, but the days of Matt Welsh are over with and done. Matt Welsh graduating last year, set a QMJHL record, Bruce, but put up some pretty impressive stats over the years, and now attending goal for the St. Mary's Huskies.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Matt Welsh, of course, just almost turned into a bit of a legend in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League as far as his goaltending prowess. But as I watched Jacob Gooby, I thought to myself, he's a bit of a clone of Matty Welsh. I mean, it's interesting. Both goaltenders, they're not the 6'4" giraffes, but they play a very similar style, and you can't help but think of the influence that Welsh had on Gooby. And so Jim Holton once again has found some pretty solid goaltending to build off of right from the blue paint out. And so Gooby's had a real good first start for the Islanders. At the other end, I was very impressed with Jonathan Lemieux, his puck handling abilities. He can be a big addition, John, for the Sea Dogs in getting out of their own end. He's got some skill in reading plays.
Simoneau inside the zone, darting into the inner area of the ice and then dishing it off, and a shot goes off a body and up into the netting.
Yeah, just to finish the thought on Lemieux, seeing him come out of his net and handling the puck. There's a poise to his game and a composure. He's not panicking with the puck. He's patient with the puck, and he makes real good decisions where he puts the puck. So I think the Sea Dogs can really take advantage of that veteran experience and his skill at puck handling.
Well, 12 and a half to go here in the third. The Sea Dogs down by 2. Now the puck coming back to the point. Here's Innes with a shot along the ice. Good pad save. Gooby kicks out that right pad. And now that puck's in over the glass, and we may have the Sea Dogs about to go on a power play as that puck's sent over the glass. A delay of game penalty to the Charlottetown Islanders. And here comes the Sea Dogs. They'll trot out that Irving Oil power play.
Well, it couldn't come at a better time for St. John, needing to cut into that Islander 2-goal lead. Power plays for both teams have not done well tonight, but certainly getting lots of practice. And you got to believe at some point that man advantage is going to cash in. Lawrence will take the draw once more. He's been excellent all night on his faceoffs.
Wins it cleanly. Back to Poirier at the point. To Lawrence, top of the circle. Back to Poirier. He'll dish it off. And Dufour with a shot that hits something in front, goes to the corner. And now it's chopped, and out it comes. And Budgell will chase Poirier back into the St. John end. Dufour. Big rangy winger up to the blue line and over. He'll control it, flipping it into the corner. Puck sent around the boards, but blocked in the corner by Burns. Over to Dufour, and a shot and a good save from Gooby. Puck wrapped hard down the wall. Lawrence with the only goal for the Sea Dogs here tonight. 1:15 left in this Irving Oil power play. Lawrence up for Dufour, but it's off his skate. And the Islanders get a chance to whip it back in again, deep. Now it's back behind the goal, around the net. And Dufour, rather Picard, were having some difficulty moving forward with it. Now the Sea Dogs get it in over the line, but offside.
Now the Sea Dogs continuing to be challenged on their man advantage. Just not clicking. Interesting to watch Brady Burns, who's such a sniper for St. John, all of a sudden seeking to set up Dufour and Lawrence. All three quite capable of pulling the trigger. And Burns with a great puck sense. Also quite capable of setting up teammates.
Out of the net comes Lemieux. And he gets to that rolling puck. Now gives it to Villeneuve, who gets jammed up on the wall by Elliott. And the puck will come back into the Charlottetown end, where it'll be whipped off the glass and bounces to center. Villeneuve giving it over to Reynolds. Reynolds will dart in over the line. Now into the corner. Looks to move it out to the front, and that's quickly cleared out. And the Sea Dogs now will have to back, and then as the puck is driven down ice by Plandowski. And no icing, just seconds remaining in this power play. And Reynolds now up to center as he collides with the Islanders forward. Out to center it comes, and down ice it goes. Heading back in on the, now from the forecheck. Good Savoy in working, trying to knock a puck free, but Islanders get to it and break up ice. Oliver to the blue line, going wide, trying to center it. He gets bumped off the puck. And now the Sea Dogs break back, get away. Carrying it is Poirier. Poirier trying to dance between the two defenders, unable to do so. Puck sent around the boards. Under 10 to go here in the third. 3-1 Charlottetown. Center ice between the two benches. Puck comes back to Innes. Innes over to Poirier. Over the red, rims it in. Out of the net comes Gooby. Slows it down. Cormier now gets to it. Around into the far corner. Dufour knocks Lowen down. Now the puck comes up as Horth gets it out. Picard took a run at Horth. Horth gets up and heads to the Islanders bench. Puck sent back the other way. A little urgency right now. A little more physical play. And
well, Burns in a foot race to try and beat the icing. Just missed getting to the puck ahead of the Islander player. And so the faceoff is deep in Sea Dog territory.
Draw to the right of Lemieux. Budgel and Dufour in for this draw. Won by Dufour. Now Charlie DeRoche. He throws it in deep. 18-year-old Islander native. Now puck brought out to center. Burns gets to it, but here's Plandowski up over the line. Plandowski with his shot on the glass. Around, and Dufour hands it off quickly to Burns, up to Lawrence. Lawrence just sends it softly, and then the end boards heads in after it. He and Plandowski jostle in the corner. Puck turned over in front. Burns with a shot, scores! Brady Burns steals one just on the lip of the crease. A quick snapshot far side. The Islanders have a 1-goal lead.
Well, the Islanders did not want to turn a puck over to some key people on the St. John Sea Dogs. Brady Burns would be one of them. And it was a costly turnover. We talked about St. John with costly turnovers. Well, guess what? It can also happen at the other end of the rink. And it was a gift-wrapped puck that just sort of slid out into no man's land, and Burns skates into it and then whips it past Gooby. All of a sudden, we're down to a 1-goal hockey game.
8 minutes to go, and a shot from a sharp angle goes up over high, over top of Lemieux and into the netting on the far side. So Islanders led 2-0 after one. It was 3-0 before Josh Lawrence. Josh Lawrence made it, put the Sea Dogs on the board. And now it's 3-2 on Brady Burns with his first of the season.
Well, let's give credit to the Sea Dogs for battling. The first period certainly did not go their way, disappointingly so in the home opener. And then trailing, as you point out, John, 3-0 in the early part of the second period. But they have kept on the mission and have now cut that lead, scoring the last 2 goals. And they trail 3-2.
Sea Dogs winning the draw. Villeneuve will move it around the far side. Carried up and thrown in by Picard. Into the corner. Behind the net, and Lucas Cormier gets tripped up. And Sea Dogs, Bizot thinks they scored, but there's a penalty coming up before that puck was over the line. Bizot doesn't like it. He's going to complain to the referee. But a penalty, and clearly from my perspective, a right call.
Well, it's a bit of a train wreck as Foston going in on an aggressive forecheck got his stick caught up in the Islander skates behind the Islander goal. Brad Mills was late getting his arm up in the air, so the play continued on behind the goal. And, of course, once his arm went in the air, any contact by a Sea Dog player to the puck would blow the play down. And so Bizot had taken a swat at it, and it squeaked in behind Gooby, clearly in over the line. But obviously the play had to be blown dead as the Sea Dogs had a delayed penalty against them. So for a split second there, John, it looked like the Sea Dogs had tied the game. Instead, they're back to killing a penalty, still trailing by 1.
It's the Sea Dogs' Moosehead light penalty kill. And the draw is to the right of that St. John goal. Won by Budgel to the point for Cormier. Cormier's shot, that one wide, and it comes hot off the backboards. But an attempt to one-time it, not possible. And now it's back out in neutral ice. Brought back in by, here's Simoneau trying to feather it through. But Drapeau blocks that. Puck comes to the point, not out. Now Simoneau, look cross ice. Coming in off the point was Lowen, but that puck doesn't come through, and out it comes. And Cormier will handle it on the far side of Simoneau. He'll wrist it in. Lemieux out of the net. He'll play it around the boards. It comes off the wall, and Reynolds just wraps it hard, and that'll go all the way. 1:10 to go in the power play. Around the net comes a speeding Cormier. Now he'll drop it back, and that's carried. Brabenec, he will carry to the line and over. Puck to the far side. Simoneau keeps that puck moving. Brabenec, now he turns it over, and the Sea Dogs will work it along the boards here, trying to keep it. Back to the point, Cormier moving it over. Now back to Cormier in the middle. He'll dish it off. Allowing no shot. Side of the goalie in front, and Budgel. He'll just stick a jam by DeRoche. Comes back to the point again. Lowen will look to shoot it. Now goes off to the front, and a shot off the post. Off the post. Islanders come awfully close to regaining that 2-goal lead. There's a drive and a pad save from Lemieux. In the corner. Budgel trying to work it free. It comes up the boards. Kept in by Cormier. Cormier moving it to the far side. Brabenec over to Cormier. Cormier's one-timer off a stick in front and just goes wide to the corner. The Islanders continue. Lowen will come off the boards with a shot. That one sails wide. 5 seconds to go in the power play. Budgel looking to throw the puck to the front, but can't. Comes back to the top, turning, holding, shot, and Lemieux makes the save and hangs on as the penalty expires. And Lemieux reached in behind him, Bruce, as if he thought he might have slipped the 5-hole, but is able to keep that puck out.
Yeah, it certainly had slipped in behind his pads. He knew it wasn't in front of him, but in fact it was just underneath him, and he was able to keep it out.
5.5 to go here in the third. Islanders with a 3-2 lead, but the Sea Dogs do manage to kill off that power play.
Well, certainly there's some satisfaction